there's been a study done in the UK using 443 secondary school pupils. Okay, and 90% of these students claim that they have seen porn at one time in their lives. What's really interesting in this study is the fact that a large majority of the girls surveyed said that they feel pressure to imitate porn scenes that they've seen to impress young boys. Okay, in fact, they'll take videos of themselves and they'll send it via mobile phone.
All right, now that's a disastrous decision.
Yes.
Because as the article explains, once they've done that, then the boys say, well, I've got you on tape and I can send it to anybody else, so now I want you to do X, Y, and Z instead. Oopsie doopsie. Now, if you're one of the boys, that's, a genius move, and, and then you're going to have a lot of fun, right? But it's not a right thing. It's not the good thing. And if you're one of the girls, that was a disastrous decision.
It was.
Okay.
Terribly.
Here's the thing, right? I don't know if I'm Grandpa Jank or if I'm just being sensible here. But girls, don't do it. You don't have to do what's in the porn, okay? Porn is crazy. I love porn. Don't get me wrong. But that's not how real sex is or should be, right? And if you're trying to impress your boyfriend by doing this and that, that's crazy, man. That's not impressive. And you're going to get yourself in and don't, whatever you do, okay, you want to do all that stuff, but don't put it on tape. No. Mike Singletary had something to say about this earlier.
Cannot play with him. Cannot win with him. Cannot coach with him. Can't do it.
Can't do it. You must be crazy.
And that's why there's so much pressure for women to get the Brazilian wax. This is what I'm telling you. I mean, women are smart enough to know, most women are smart enough to know, not to imitate porn scenes and have videos of it, flying around everywhere. But, they have this pressure to look like porn stars and go out and get the Brazilian wax. So.
And you might say, hey, what's different between now and before? What's different is what the study said in the beginning. Now, everybody's seen porn because of the internet.
Exactly.
90% of the kids have seen porn in that study between the ages of 13 and 17. So, and the parents have no freaking idea. When they ask the kids, what percentage of your parents know? 80% said parents have no idea.
Right. One 14-year-old boy said children often receive pornography on their mobile cell phones in class. In fact, he said that it's not rare to hear, moaning coming out of a cell phone in the middle of class.
Right. So this cat's out of the bag, so we got to start talking about it, and we got to start being realistic with our kids and telling them, hey, because I know a lot of parents who bury their head in the sand and say, oh, no, my ass. They've seen everything you can imagine on the internet. So you better have that conversation and tell them what makes sense and what doesn't. All right, J.R. Jackson, you wanted to jump in there. No? Come on, man. Did I steal your thunder? Did I say something? Don't hate on me.
I realize I'm just stating the obvious, but I don't know how you guys didn't realize it, but that's why kids would watch porn. They imitate what they see in porn. That's why, the crazy, or at least not necessarily crazy, but parents are all up in arms. I can't let them watch it because then they're going to try it. Well, yeah, they're going to try it. Of course, that's why they're watching. You think they're watching and go, oh, this is good entertainment.
Yeah.
Hand me the popcorn. This is great.
Right, but that's why you got to talk to your kids. Look, even if it seems obvious, right? I had a discussion with my nephews saying, hey, the stuff in rap is they're just playing, right? You're not actually supposed to kill anybody with a gat or anything else, right? And they say, Uncle Jank, we're not retarded. We know that, right? But nonetheless, you should have all those conversations. And if I had daughters, I'd sit them down and I'd be like, look, here's what makes sense and here's what doesn't make sense. And because they're going to get a lot of pressure, man, and you gotta be there for them in other ways, to back them up and say, you do whatever you want, but you got to do it what you want, not what they want, and you got to have respect for yourself.
What's interesting in this poll is that 2/3 of the youngsters said that they need more information about sex, and 63% said that they didn't discuss sex at all at home.
Right.
So that's the problem. That's the major problem here.
Right. And by the way, best way to go about solving this is, of course, abstinence-only education.
Right. We should all do abstinence.
While 90% of the kids are watching online porn, the clowns in the Bush administration were like, oh, we should just teach them not to have sex. That'll solve it. Meanwhile, they're pulling it out and going on the face. And I don't want to get too graphic, but the kids are like, yeah, abstinence only. Yeah, hold on a second. We're doing a DP over here. Okay. Come on.
Yeah, with DP.